ladies and gentlemen, and I welcome you to the 2014 Alumni Awards ceremony and dinner. Thank you for joining us on this very special occasion as we honor the 2014 Alumni Award recipients. By honoring the service and achievements of our alumni and our supporters, we show the value of an East Carolina education and, importantly, we advance the university. As we begin, I'm pleased to recognize a number of attendees. With the members of the East Carolina University Alumni Association Board of Directors, please stand. I want to thank each of them for their dedication and loyalty to the Alumni Association and to our university. Without their support, our programs like the Alumni Awards and Alumni Scholarships would not be possible. Thank you so very much. I'm also pleased to recognize Chancellor Steve Ballard, as well as any other university officials and past members of the Alumni Board who are here tonight. Would they please stand and let us recognize them? Tonight's honorees join the ranks of past honorary, distinguished service, and outstanding Alumni Award winners who have previously been honored by the Alumni Association. I ask any past Alumni Award recipients here with us this evening to please stand and be recognized. Past award winners. Past and present recipients, on behalf of the 155,000, that's a neat number, 155,000 living alumni throughout this nation and the world, the Alumni Association congratulates you and thanks you for your service to East Carolina. At this time, I am pleased to recognize the sponsors for tonight's event. I want you to please hold your applause until all have been named. Presenting sponsors, Duplin Winery in Hilton Greenville. Gold sponsors, Ken and Kay Chalk. Purple sponsors, Shenandoah Graphics and Framing. Pirate sponsors, Walter and Marie Williams, and Ernest and Martha Logeman. Patrons, Michael Aho and Joe Esparza. Connolly Branch and Svetlana Balan. Keith and Shannon Frazier. Mark and Gail Garner, Beth and James Volz. And if you've been reading along in the program, we've added some patrons since the programs were printed. And we also thank Dave and Gail Englert, Albemarle Bank and Trust, and Chris Blackston. Thanks to all of our generous supporters for making it possible for us to honor our award recipients at this evening's event. Next, we'll have some remarks from Neil Crawford, who is the chair of the East Carolina University Alumni Association Board of Directors. Neil?
Thank you, Dr. Aiken. Good evening, everyone. I'm so pleased to be here in such fine company as we honor our 2014 Alumni Award recipients. I'd like to thank the awards committee for all their hard work selecting these recipients. I can assure you it is not an easy job to choose from so many excellent nominations. To continue the high caliber of exemplary recipients, it is important that we continue to receive nominations year-round. I encourage each of you to nominate an exceptional alumnus or friend of the university for an alumni award. Nominations for the 2015 Alumni Awards will be accepted through November 1st. For more information on the awards process, call the Alumni Association at 800 ECU Grad or visit our website at piratealumni.com awards process. The staff will be happy to assist you through the process. And now the fun part. Now I'd like to invite the Magnolia Bells to the stage to entertain us with a selection of songs as we begin to enjoy our dinner. Enjoy dinner.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
As we sing the ECU alma mater, and please sing along if you'd like to.
Praise to your name so fair, dear old East Carolina. Your joys will all share, and your friends will ever be. We pledge our loyalty and our heart's devotion to thee, our alma mater, love and praise. Praise to your name so fair, dear old East Carolina. Your joys we'll all share, and your friends will ever be. We pledge our loyalty and our heart's devotion to thee, our alma mater, love and praise.
Now it is time to introduce the 2014 Alumni Award recipients. The East Carolina Alumni Association is proud to present 2 Distinguished Service Awards, 2 Honorary Alumni Awards, and 4 Outstanding Alumni Awards this evening. Distinguished Service Award. The Virgil Clark Distinguished Service Award is given to alumni who display uncommon and outstanding service to the Alumni Association and/or the university as a whole. It is my pleasure to introduce our first Distinguished Service Award recipient, Angela Allen, class of 1981. Angela is the Vice President of Global Sales Technical Enablement at IBM after 30 years with the company. She is a member of the Board of Visitors and has served on the foundation, on the Board of Directors for the Women's Roundtable and the ECU Foundation. She is a charter member of the College of Engineering and Technology Advancement Council and a member of the Department of Computer Science Advisory Council. She funds an Access Scholarship annually, and she regularly hosts and attends university events in the Washington, D.C. area. Please join me in congratulating Angela Allen.
Good evening, and thank you. In a recent newsletter, Chancellor Ballard said, "Our vision is simple: to deliver on the promise of opportunity." 32 years ago, I had the privilege of graduating from ECU with a degree in computer science. And as part of my coursework, I took a very difficult computer science course called Assembly Programming Language. And I have to tell you that at the time, I wasn't sure that opportunity would be afforded to me. I studied, I prayed, I hoped, and I said, "Lord, please help me get through this course, and I hope to never see this programming language again." And at the time, it just did not make sense to me why any company would use ones and zeros to program their business. But when I joined IBM, my very first job was, guess what? Programming using assembly language. ECU delivered on that promise of opportunity for me, and is still delivering 32 years later. To Chancellor and Mrs. Ballard, to the ECU Alumni Association, the Women's Roundtable, yeah, and friends and supporters of ECU, thank you very much for this very special recognition. I'm humbled and I'm honored. I'd also like to thank my family and friends who traveled here with me tonight to celebrate. My husband, Steve, my brother, sister, cousins, James, Jennifer, Reginald, and Lisa. Yay. My dear friends from college, Brenda, Ella, and Mary. And my dear friends since college, Harvey, Greg, and Javonda. Thank you for the support. No one can get to this point without great support, and the support that I've gotten from ECU and the friends that are here tonight, especially my ECU colleagues, and also especially the Women's Roundtable. You'll hear me talk about that quite a bit. Also, I'd like to give tribute to my late mother and my grandparents, Jim and Annie Williams. Their faith in me and the pride that they instilled in me helped me fulfill my dreams. I was the first in my family to get a degree. So my support and service of this university are grounded in appreciation, passion, and pride, and the love of the Pirates. ECU has done so much for me, both professionally and personally, but it's more fulfilling to me to help the university however I can. It has been an honor to serve and to help the students who choose ECU, who choose ECU to start their career journey through things like the Access Scholarships and through programs like the Honors. These scholarships help to build a very strong and well-rounded body of students who are proud to be here. And it shows the world that ECU has the highest quality academics, not to mention great sports, and also plenty of fun. So we should all say, "Go Pirates." I'm also proud to say I've been with the IBM company for almost my whole career. And you can say I'm part purple and part blue. But my ECU education and the ties here have helped me every step of the way. From that very first job, my assembly language programming job, to that first vice president's job, and to today, in the job where I travel the world and oversee hundreds of people in a dozen countries. So let me tell you about that first vice president's job. While I was still a student at ECU, I had 2 co-op terms with the Department of the Navy in Washington, D.C. Then almost 20 years later, I returned to Washington to interview for a big promotion from director to vice president, which I would coincidentally be leading contracts with IBM at the Department of the Navy. And I tell you, the person that was interviewing me was very skeptical. He told me that I had a great work history, strong recommendations, but he did not feel I had relevant experience for the position. And I told him, and he chuckled after I told him this, but I told him, in fact, I did. He mentioned that the relationships were important and being able to navigate across the Navy was important. And because of my ECU co-op assignment in the Navy, when I was at ECU 20 years prior, I still had some relationships from those days. I knew how to connect and operate within the agencies. I had relevant SAP commercial experience that the Navy was implementing. Long story, I got the job thanks to my connections from ECU and my ECU education. A few years ago, my ECU heritage also helped me once again in the business world. I traveled to a city called Kitakashu, which is in the southwest of Japan, to help the local IBM team give a presentation to the city leaders on IBM's Smarter Energy Intelligent Utility Network solution. The city was fascinating to me. Kitakashu is an industrial city that once suffered very terrible pollution from the steel and chemical industries. And at one point, it was so bad that the babies were being born with birth defects. So, starting in the 1960s, the women of Kitakashu fought back. And ever since, the city has changed its economic focus to cleaner industries, transforming itself into a model of energy efficiency and environmental leadership. The chief environmental executive of Kitakashu, Mr. Matsuka, or Matsuka-san, that you would say in Japan, was understandably very proud of that record in transforming his city. So at one point towards the end of the presentation, he was comfortable with the solution. He asked, he said, "Angela, what have you done that makes you proud?" I could have rattled off a bunch of things about IBM achievements or other things, but what came to mind for me was the Access Scholarships of ECU. You see, about a month before that trip, I had sat in on an Access Scholarship luncheon, listening to those young people and the stories about how the ECU Access Scholarships have changed their lives, had an impact on me. So I told Mr. Mitamashu what the Access Scholarship meant to the students, and how the region that I grew up in here in North Carolina was also transforming from an industry of tobacco to knowledge-based industries like healthcare and engineering. So from that, our relationship took a very shared and collaborative tone. 2 very different people, different cultures, but 2 people who connected by a shared interest in the community. Next Friday, I'll be back here at ECU with Dr. Quinn Dean, supporting the Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math conference for middle school girls. This is a great way to get young girls interested in the STEM careers. And it's also a great opportunity for me to remind the young ladies that with hard work, with persistence, continuous learning, help from others, and for me, by the grace of God, great things can happen. Harriet Tubman once said, "Every great dream begins with a dreamer." Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, the passion to reach for the stars and change the world. As a dreamer myself, and my husband will attest to that, and a product of this region and this great university, it is an honor to give so others can achieve their dreams. I am proud to be a pirate. Thank you very much for this award and for changing my world for a lifetime. Thank you very much.
Okay, to introduce our second recipient, I'd like to invite Angie Moss to the podium. Angie is the immediate past chair of the East Carolina Alumni Board of Directors. Welcome, Angie.
Thank you, Neil. It's great to be here this evening. I am honored to introduce our second Distinguished Service Award recipient, Carl Davis, class of 1973. Carl is a regional sales manager with Electronics Research. He has served as treasurer, vice chair, and chair of the board of directors for the East Carolina Alumni Association. He has also served as vice chair and chair of the board of visitors. He's been involved with the ECU Foundation and the Athletics Hall of Fame Committee, and he's a founding member of ComCrew, which supports the School of Communication. Now, these accomplishments, while impressive, don't tell the full story of Carl's passion for our pirate nation. He and his wonderful wife, Martha, have been to 200 of 201 ECU football games, both home and away, since 1997, traveling more than 140,000 miles to cheer on the Pirates. They have also recruited many pirate alumni back to campus, and I would like to personally thank Carl and Martha on behalf of many of us, as I was actually one of those recruits. So it is a true honor for me to introduce and congratulate a very well-deserved Carl Davis.
$70 to $41. Wow. I want to thank you. I want to thank the Alumni Association, and I want to thank my fellow board members for this honor. I also want to thank my wife, Martha, who I love very much. She's been incredibly supportive of everything I've done at ECU, including that 140,000 miles. I'd like to recognize my brother Brad, my sister-in-law Lindsay, my niece and nephew Carson and Carly. Also here tonight is my goddaughter Beth Volts and her husband James from Raleigh. I want to recognize my good friend Tom Peeler and his wife Jane from Morganton. Tom was my roommate here at ECU. And if you'd like to, you can ask him questions about my years here, because the statute of limitations has now expired. I believe strongly that higher education is the answer to most of the world's questions, whether it's poverty or cancer, technology, or political conflict. And that's why service to higher education is so important. Service, or Sewire, is our motto. And service for me has been very easy. It's been easy because I am so very proud of this university. I'm proud of our history and our heritage. And I've had the honor of knowing the three people in our history who are known by only one name: Leo, Stas, and Walter. You can applaud. If you're not proud of East Carolina University, you've really not been paying attention to what's happened here. ECU graduates more nurses than any other school in North Carolina. ECU graduates more teachers than any other school in North Carolina. Are there programs with more important degrees than nursing and teaching? And how can you not be proud of the Brody School of Medicine? It's a national leader in primary care and family medicine. North Carolina and our nation need more primary care physicians, and the Brody School of Medicine has been working to meet that need for more than 36 years. Now, yes, I have been an advocate for East Carolina University, but it's because I am so proud of what this university has become. Who would have thought 20 years ago we'd have a School of Engineering on this campus? We have become the leadership university with leaders in business and science, government, and industry. Our 155,000 alumni are leading in communities in every state in this country. In my business, I travel the 24 states in the eastern U.S. I meet East Carolina alumni on almost every trip. But East Carolina is not about buildings or faculty or even football. East Carolina is about the products that this institution builds. It's alumni. And I'm proud of our alumni who are in every state and around the world. About 10 years ago, I worked with an African American woman from the class of 1979. She's here tonight, actually. She told me that although she received her degree, she did not have a good experience while she was a student here. A couple of years after that conversation, her older daughter decided to come to ECU, and she is now a member of the class of 2010 and working as a nurse here in North Carolina. Her younger daughter is in graduate school here after getting her degree in 2013. My former coworker has seen what a different place East Carolina has become. And in spite of her own experience in the 70s, she's now an advocate and a volunteer for our university. Among other roles, she served on the Parents Council, and she continues to serve on the Alumni Board of Directors. And I'm proud of our university because I'm proud of people who don't make headlines, like Lindsay Takuan from the class of 2002. Lindsay and her family live in Nairobi, Kenya, and she's a swimming coach there and coaches both the Kenya and Uganda national teams. I'm proud of Lindsay's sister, Monica. She's an optometrist in Raleigh. And there are so many more in so many different roles serving our country and serving around the world. I want to thank you for this award because it does mean a great deal to me. I accept it in behalf of all the alumni of our great university who have learned to serve here and who continue to serve others. Go Pirates!
The Alumni Association's Honorary Alumni Award is unique because it is an honor extended to individuals who did not attend East Carolina but have adopted the university as their own through uncommon and outstanding service, substantial and continuing commitment, and loyalty. I'd like to ask the Alumni Board Vice Chair, Glenda Moultrie, to come up to the podium to introduce our first Honorary Award recipient.
Good evening. Thank you so much, Neil. It is my privilege to present our first Honorary Alumni Award recipient, Dr. Jackson Allison. Dr. Allison founded the Department of Emergency Medicine at the Brody School of Medicine in 1980. He has more than 35 years of experience teaching and administering emergency medicine in academic and clinical settings. He earned his bachelor's, master's, and medical degrees from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. He was the founding president of the International Federation for Emergency Medicine and has served as president of the American College of Emergency Physicians. Please join me, my Pirate family, in congratulating Dr. Jackson Allison.
Ladies and gentlemen, I do want to assure you that I am indeed standing up. Chancellor Ballard, Sean Moore, faculty, staff, family, friends, and colleagues, I am both tremendously honored and incredibly humbled that you would bestow such a lofty award upon me. Thank you all so much indeed. First of all, when my wife, Sue Wilson, and I moved here in 1980, we did so on the proverbial 5-year plan to establish the Academic Department of Emergency Medicine, punch a few tickets, then relocate up the academic ladder at a more prestigious institution. Little did we know that we would be here 17 years. And it is truly amazing that humble ECTC would become the veritable prestigious paragon of academic emergency medicine internationally. In addition to establishing the Department of Emergency Medicine and serving as its first chair, I also fostered the Division of Emergency Medical Services in 1980, the Residency Training Program in 1982, East Care, the highly touted air ambulance service in 1984, and fellowship programs in EMS, helicopter medicine, and research. During my tenure at ECU, which was initiated and tremendously supported by Dr. William Lopas, the late dean of the Brody School of Medicine, our faculty presented at 31 international emergency medicine conferences, more than all of the other academic departments in the Southeast combined. Our residents tied for third nationally in the number of published research papers, not only beating out Wake Forest University, Carolinas Medical Center in Charlotte, and UNC Chapel Hill, but those at Johns Hopkins, Harvard, Yale, Stanford, and the University of Southern California. Yet most importantly, our department has always been at the forefront in providing emergency services to all citizens of Eastern North Carolina, especially the underserved. Our department has also spawned 3 academic chairs of emergency medicine and a dozen emergency department directors nationwide. Women members of the department have always been paid on par with men, and both women and men have received equally generous maternity and paternity leave. In 1988, I declared publicly that I had a goal of establishing the first endowed chair of emergency medicine internationally. I failed miserably. However, the Sterling Distinguished Chair of Emergency Medicine came in second, which was initiated in 1991. And I wrote down that it was the second endowed chair within the Brody School of Medicine, but it was actually the first. I was the second president of our national association, Jim Jones of Family Medicine was first. Sue and I reared two of our youngest children here. Adrian was president of the class of 1995 at Rose High School and is an attorney on the staff of the UNC School of Law. And Josh is an up-and-coming national leader in Charlotte with Westco, a Fortune 400 company. I would be remiss if I did not thank publicly Dr. Susan McCammon, professor and chair of the ECU Department of Psychology, who graciously nominated me for this award. Susan and I have performed research and published together since 1984, and we continue to do so today. Ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you so much for inviting me to become an honorary member of the Alumni Association here at East Carolina University. I am truly honored indeed. Go Pirates.
To introduce our second honorary Alumni Award recipient, I'd like to invite John Israel to the stage. John is currently serving as Secretary of the Alumni Board. Welcome, John.
Thank you, Neil. I am pleased to name our second honorary Alumni Award recipient, Robert H. Wright. Robert H. Wright was the first president of East Carolina Teachers Training School, now East Carolina University. He earned his Bachelor of Arts from the University of North Carolina in 1897. Under his 25 years of leadership, East Carolina grew from a 2-year training school to a 4-year teachers college. He was a key figure in education, not only in the state, but throughout the nation. Dr. Wright is unable to be here tonight, but we have a short video which includes words from his first inaugural address when he was installed as president of East Carolina in 1909.
Standing here as I do upon the threshold of a new institution, it is not strange if I see visions and dream dreams. The responsibilities of life that rest upon this generation are greater than the responsibilities that have ever rested upon a previous generation. To meet these obligations demands greater preparation for life's work than has ever been demanded before. It was in the conscious or unconscious realization of this fact that this school was established. And here we have built, at state expense, an institution to train young men and women to go forth in our land, to equip themselves better for the serious duties of their mature years. We are not here to destroy the old and accept only the new, but to build upon the past, a structure, secure, safe, and sane, make this old world a better place in which to live, to help each generation better to adjust itself to nature's laws of God. I see a people ready, willing, and anxious for any good thing. They are filled with the American ideal. We will give to the rising generation the purest inheritance of the nation and better preparation than has ever been given to a preceding generation. This school and may it ever remain with the people as a servant of the people.
Okay, now it's time for our Outstanding Alumni Awards. The Outstanding Alumni Award recognizes alumni with a minimum of 5 years of work experience, outstanding and uncommon achievement in their profession, in civic affairs, and/or politics, and the adherence to high moral and ethical standards. I'd like to ask Dean Browder to come up to the podium to introduce our first Outstanding Alumni Award recipient. Dean is currently serving as Treasurer of the Alumni Board. Welcome, Dean.
Thank you, Neil. I'm honored to present our first Outstanding Alumni Award recipient, Mr. Bill Clark, class of 1966 and 1968. Bill is the founder of Bill Clark Homes, now one of the largest privately owned home building companies in the state. He has over 30 years of experience building homes and communities in eastern North Carolina. He was a major contributor to the construction of Clark LeClaire Baseball Stadium, which bears his name. He is a past president of the Pirate Club and continues to give his time and energy to the university. Please join me in congratulating Mr. Bill Clark.
I'm going to digress, Sean, a little bit from my pre-speech that I gave you, because after hearing all these eloquent speakers up here, I think this is a little short. But there's a couple of things I'd like to say to Angela. You know, you struggle with that course. Honey, you should have seen the computer that we had when I was in school. It wouldn't even fit on the stage. It was so big, and now I can't even hardly use my iPhone. So I haven't progressed very much. It's been a wonderful journey. I came to East Carolina in 1961. I was a wet behind the years country boy from Warren County. I don't even remember looking back why I chose East Carolina, but it's the only place I applied. My first 4.5 years were filled with wonderment of college life. I had came off a farm, and I thought, my God, what this is just heaven. After college, I married my wife, Glo. We lived together for 47 years. 16 months ago, she passed away. We raised 3 sons, which are all of them here tonight, 2 of which graduated from East Carolina. The other one, he's probably the biggest East Carolina fan you've ever seen. I attended the first or second business graduate school that was ever here in business, and that was the reason that I was able to get my first job at a bank. At East Carolina, for the years I were here, I developed such long life friends. Most of them which are over to Hilton now waiting for me to get over there. And you know, it seems like we get closer as the years pass. And I think it gets back to the fact, well, maybe we don't got about a fourth of our lives left, so, better get on with it. I left Greenville twice and always came back. It just kept drawing me back. And this is a great town. It's a great town we live in. The university has become an integral part of my life and that of my family. Its reputation for fighting for Eastern North Carolina was started with the likes of Leo. I was very fortunate. I came in here in 1961 in I'd say the golden years of education. And when Leo was he was at his fighting best. If you look at the vision that he had for this school, and he had to fight tooth and nail to get that medical school. And look at now, we have all these clinics spread out the whole state. We have a dental school that's now performing for the whole state where it never had dental care before. It's just amazing what one man's dream could do. And he had a lot of help, a lot of help. When I think about East Carolina and what it means to me, I read a book not too long ago called David and Goliath. And it's a book of analogies between the guy that is the underdog fighting the guy that's the favorite. And that's where I look at East Carolina. It's been for such a long time. How could a shepherd boy with a sheepskin go out against a giant with a slingshot? And I think that's exactly what East Carolina has done. It's taken a slingshot and has nailed them all. And I think that because of that, we have lived up to our motto to serve, and I think it's the greatest honor that you could have as a university. The honor that you've placed on me tonight is such a privilege and an honor. But it really belongs to all the people that came before. 155,000 of them, you say. And those people have made this one of the greatest universities in this state. Go Pirates.
To introduce our second Outstanding Alumni Award recipient, I'd like to invite Michael McShane, who is the 1996 Outstanding Alumni Award recipient, to the podium. Michael is a member of the Alumni Association Board of Directors. Welcome, Michael.
Neil, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to present our second Outstanding Alumni Award of the evening to Lieutenant General Mark Faulkner, United States Marine Corps, class of 1982. Mark is presently the Deputy Commandant of the Marine Corps for Installations and Logistics. During his extraordinary 32-year military career, he has had some absolutely outstanding assignments and commands. For example, he was a combat leader in Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm. In the former Yugoslavia, he supported the United Nations operations to bring humanitarian relief to the peoples of Bosnia and Serbia. Early in his career, he also commanded combat units in Afghanistan and Iraq during Operation Enduring Freedom and Operation Iraqi Freedom. Unfortunately, because of the press of duty in Washington, General Faulkner cannot be with us this evening. However, Accepting the award for General Faulkner is his father, Colonel Pat Faulkner, United States Marine Corps, retired. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Pat and congratulating General Faulkner.
I want everybody to look at all these ribbons he's got up here. Believe me, that kid earned every damn one of them. That boy volunteered to go into combat with the United Nations forces in Bosnia-Herzegovina back in the early 90s. Before I could get on the phone and tell him, you don't volunteer to go let somebody try to kill you. He served a couple of tours of duty in Iraq, in Fallujah, which is, I think we may be trying to give that away now. He served a tour of duty in Afghanistan, where he captured a bunch of the bad guys and ran a prison to keep them in. He's done a terrific job, and he has no idea of ever quitting. I say to you, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Pat Faulkner, and Lieutenant General Mark Faulkner is my son. He happens to be called away on business today. He has two bosses in this country, and one of them is the President of the United States. The other is the Commandant of the United States Marine Corps. They have seen fit, one of them seen fit to have him someplace else, and he's told me not to tell you which one it is. I would like to recognize some of the folks here with me tonight. Sitting at table number 14 is my wife, Zara. She's my former high school girlfriend. Mark's youngest daughter, Catherine. Mark's brother, Michael, and my son. And his son, Bradley, who is a new freshman here at East Carolina University. And Bradley, we expect big things from you. Mark wanted me to start with a joke. However, it was so damn lame, I just decided not to give it, and I told him so. But here it is. Quite often and I live down there, Marine Corps Air Station Cherry Point, quite often when somebody finds out that my son is a lieutenant general, they want to come up and compliment me and tell me how very proud I must be. Well, I think that goes without saying. I am very proud of Mark, as I am my other two kids, Michael and Kelly, also. Quite often I will tell them that there is a side to that that's unfortunate, because he makes me stand at attention when I speak to him. He makes me salute him, and he makes me say yes sir and no sir. Well, one lady in the commissary, she bought this line hook, line, and sinker, and she looked at me with alarm on her face, disdain in her voice, got right in my face, and these are her words verbatim. She said, the rank of dad outranks general every day of the week. And then she strode off, and I said, I was only kidding. But it's true. No matter what moniker you give, you're attached to your children, mom and dad always outranks that. Mark has written me several jokes here, but I refuse to get them. If Mark were here tonight, I'm sure he would want to first talk about the importance of the United States military and what they provide to our great nation and to our national security. He would also want me to talk about his East Carolina family. Mark grew up in a military family, as I am a retired Marine colonel. I enlisted in the Marine Corps in 1954 out of high school, rose to the rank of corporal. That's the last rank at which I was competent. And then the Marine Corps in 1957, they decided to send me to flight school. I became a fighter attack pilot extraordinaire, I might say. By the way, Michael McShane is a B-52 pilot too. I used to watch those guys arc light in Laos in the early 70s. They're tremendous. Anyway, the Marine Corps, after my second tour in Vietnam, sent me here to finish my degree. They thought I was pretty stupid and needed an education. So they sent me here, and I brought Mark. He was on the 6th grade. Mike was in the 4th. Kelly was in the 1st or 2nd. Can't remember which. Anyway, we attended all the ball games, all the football games, and a lot of baseball games, and a lot of events put on by the school. And Mark wanted me to tell you that he wanted to become an East Carolina Pirate long before he ever wanted to become a Marine. And that's true. I have 3 children. Every one of them graduated from East Carolina University, as I did. Mark's wife, former girlfriend, elementary school girlfriend, as a matter of fact, and his wife of 31 years, she graduated from East Carolina University. Her father is a retired Marine attack pilot. He's a colonel, retired colonel. So the Marine Corps in East Carolina goes very deep in our family. Catherine out there, she's a kick-ass, take no prisoner, 1st grade teacher right down the street here at Eastern Elementary School. She is cut from the same mold as her old man. The fruit does not fall very far from the tree in her case, I guarantee you that. If you're so lucky to have a kid, try to get her in the 1st grade class. If he comes in with no discipline, he'll go out with a heck of a lot of it. Like I said, I served 31 years in the Marine Corps, in Vietnam, and other dangerous places. Mark has been in the Corps now for 32 years and shows no sign of stopping. We know that there are no shortage of security threats around the globe, so our military is never short of work. So East Carolina and the Marine Corps means family to us. Mark is proud to protect all those things that make our nation so great, especially our freedom. So on behalf of Mark, I want to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for this great honor. Have a great evening. God bless America. God bless East Carolina University. May God bless the United States Marine Corps. Semper Fi, and good night.
That's a tough act to follow. Next, we'll present our 3rd Outstanding Alumni Award. To present this award, I'd like to invite Wes Johnson to the podium. Wes is a member of the Alumni Association Board of Directors. Welcome, Wes.
Wow. Thank you, Neil. I'm honored to present our next Outstanding Alumni Award recipient, Van Isley, class of 1985. Van is the founder and CEO of Professional Builder Supply, an award-winning building materials distribution company with locations in Raleigh, Wilmington, and Charlotte. He is active in industry organizations, including Lumbermen's Merchandising Corporation and the Southern Building Material Association. Through his business, he has supported Operation Coming Home and the Duke Children's Hospital Miracle Home Project, as well as St. Baldrick's Foundation. He is also involved with the ECU College of Business Advisory Council. And I'm sorry, but I've got to go off the script here for a minute. I've had the honor of knowing Van a long time. We grew up together and roomed together at ECU. So I can share with you a little inside information on this award winner. Sweating it out over there, man? No worries. What I really want you to know about Van's extraordinary business success is that it is largely a result of Van having the same spirit that has driven ECU since even beyond the days of Leo Jenkins, as we've seen here, right to our very founding. He sets ambitious goals, has the drive, work ethic, and determination to achieve those goals. See, Van was the rising star at Carolina Builders and has set records in every position he held. But as is the case with a lot of companies, there was a ceiling that was difficult to break through. Well, when he told management that he was leaving to start his own company, they were upset at losing such a valuable asset. And they made the mistake of telling Van that he could not succeed and they would squash him. Okay? That was a huge mistake, and it just added fuel to his fire. Just as Leo Jenkins reacted to being told he could not achieve his dreams at ECU, Van, like the true pirate that he is, remained undaunted and achieved record success and set the standard of excellence in operations and customer service in his industry. I also know he remains humble and has never lost focus on the importance of family and friends as well. Please join me in congratulating Van Isley.
Thank you, Wes. I am humbled and honored to receive this award tonight. I'd like to quickly thank several people who have had a significant positive impact on my involvement here at East Carolina. First, thank you to Jim Westmoreland, the Associate Dean of External Affairs for the College of Business. Jim's energy, enthusiasm, and passion for this university are unequaled. Not only did he help me land my first job in his role at the time as the Director of Career Services, but he has helped me understand the value of the Pirate Network. He worked tirelessly to help me grow personally and to build relationships within the Pirate Network, whether it be meeting new friends, business associates, or prospective customers. The network that Jim has helped me to build has been instrumental in my success in the business world. I'd also like to thank Mr. John Hudson. Mr. Hudson is responsible for one of the best summers of my life. After I graduated here in 1985 in the spring, I had the option of starting work with Pricewaterhouse whenever I chose, and I chose to do that after Labor Day. So I had a free summer to fulfill a dream that I had always wanted to live at the beach for the summer. Mr. Hudson provided me with a job. He provided me with a place to live, but most importantly, I learned how to run a business. I learned how to be a good pirate, and I met lifelong friends. Thank you, Mr. Hudson. I'd like to thank my mom, who is here with us tonight, and my dad, who we lost several years ago. I remember vividly the day when I told them I wanted to attend ECU. They both smiled sincerely, and their unwavering support and confidence in my decision meant so much as I began my pirate journey. Mom and Dad taught me the importance of family, how to do more with less, and that hard work would ultimately pay off. Mom has always been 100% supportive, and she continues to find ways to make the little things special. Thank you, Mom. I'm very fortunate to have been blessed with a wonderful family of my own. My sons, Jake and Johnny. Johnny is here with us tonight. Unfortunately, Jake is about 6 hours away and couldn't make the trip. Both very staunch pirates. They provide me with inspiration and help keep me young. They've both been a big part of our pirate journey as well. I want to thank my wonderful wife, Jennifer, for wholeheartedly embracing the pirates and everything I do ECU. Jennifer was a cheerleader at Wake Forest, but she's adopted the pirates as her own, and she clearly understands my love for this university. Her tireless effort to keep our personal life in order provides me with the opportunity to be involved at ECU. And finally, I'd like to thank a very special friend who is truly the reason I am here tonight. Wes, who just introduced me, serves on the board of the Alumni Association. Wes and I have been friends, as he said, basically since we were born, having grown up in the same community. We were best friends throughout our school years, graduated from high school together, were college roommates, and in 1985, graduated side by side from East Carolina. I'd like to share a very short story about Wes and that relationship. See, Wes, I can give it back. Wes and I shared the same classroom and the same teacher in the second grade. We managed to find our share of trouble, most of it harmless, and seemed to be much braver when we were operating in tandem. Those of you who know Wes may have recognized his sales prowess and his ability to influence a group of people in a positive way. At a very, very early age, Wes used those same skills to convince his mother that he and I needed to be in the same class again in the 3rd grade because we challenged each other and therefore pushed each other to greater academic heights. Well, folks, that was some heavy BS. But his mom bought it and convinced the principal to put us in the same class again in the 3rd grade. Needless to say, it didn't take the administrators long to figure out what had happened, and it was many, many years before we ever shared a classroom again. In hindsight, though, Wes, over 40 years later, I think your mom had it right. You have challenged me to new heights with respect to our alma mater. You've challenged me to get involved, you've challenged me to give back, and you've challenged me to be a better pirate simply by doing what you do and leading by example. Thank you, my friend, sincerely. I'm very fortunate to have shared this wonderful journey with such a great friend. And thank you again to the Alumni Association for this deeply meaningful award. Thank you as well to all of the pirates in the audience tonight. You and this university have done more for me than I will ever be able to give back. I'm very proud to be a pirate. Thank you.
To present our final Outstanding Alumni Award, I'd like to invite Lynette Taylor to the podium. Lynette is a member of the Alumni Association Board of Directors. Welcome, Lynette.
Thank you so much, Neil. Hello to my pirate family. It is my privilege to name Terry Shank, class of 1977, as our final Outstanding Alumni Award recipient. Terry passed away earlier this year after being nominated for this award. But the Alumni Association is proud to honor her posthumously. Terry had a passion for social justice and spent over 60 years as a political activist. She served on the Greenville City Council or the Greenville City School Board and as a Pitt County Commissioner. She was president of the League of Women Voters of North Carolina and the Women's Forum of North Carolina, an organization committed to equality for women. She was selected as a delegate to the UN World Conference on Women in China. Terry was also a major supporter of the arts at ECU. Now, two of Terry's 3 children are here, Michael and Mark. But accepting this award on her behalf is her friend and ECU professor, Rebecca Powers. Please join me in welcoming Rebecca and her 2 sons for honoring Terry.
Hello, I'm here on behalf of Terry Shank, and tonight I'm joined by Michael and Mark, 2 of her 3 sons, and Tim couldn't join us due to unexpected illness. We also have her grandson, Matthew, in the audience, and her daughter-in-law, Crystal. And we want to say thank you for joining us tonight to celebrate this extraordinary woman. You've all read about her many accomplishments, but I want to speak for a minute about the motivation behind the action. Terry was motivated by a wholehearted commitment to advocate for social justice in our society. Now, social justice is the view that everyone deserves equal economic, political, and social rights and opportunities. She carried out this commitment by actively participating in a wide variety of activities and by befriending a very diverse group of people. I had to try really hard to convince Terry to allow me the honor of nominating her for this award. She did not seek acknowledgement for her service or recognition for her successful efforts to forward the cause of social justice. She did what she did because it needed to be done. And she did this for a very long, long time. So when I asked her if I could nominate her, she said no. She said no repeatedly, repeatedly, but consistent with her teaching me to persevere when faced with obstacles, I kept asking her about this award, and finally I convinced her that we need to see women who successfully contribute to the greater good. It helps me, and actually everybody, to know about the life work of a woman such as Terry, someone who contributed so much and helped so many people. This is especially important because there are so few women represented in the ranks of winners of this awards such as this one. And it's probably so because, like Terry, they don't seek any recognition, or they don't have an assertive friend like me nominating them for these awards. So let us each work at changing that, okay? Why? Thanks. Why? Because we as people, we need, as people in this society, to know about women like Terry. Because she helps us feel motivated, encouraged, hopeful, and happy. And so we can be like her, people who are committed to the greater good, who are sincere, truthful, reliable, and fully engaged in our social world. I miss her terribly. And I cherish the times that we shared. Now, frequently after we'd spent some time together, when we were saying our goodbyes, she would look me in the eye and say, "I love you, but I don't know why you want to spend time with an old gal like me." And I'd look her back in the eye and I'd say, "Because I love you, and there's no place else I'd rather be." And that's how I feel tonight, standing here, accepting this award for this fabulous, feisty woman, Terry Shank. Thank you.
Hey, I just wanted to say, go Mom. And I promise you, she's giving that big arg up there with Jesus.
Wow, what a night. Congratulations again to all of our award recipients. Your achievements and service ensure a bright future for East Carolina. Before we close, I'd like to recognize all of our graduates of East Carolina Teachers College and East Carolina College participating in the ECTC and ECC reunion this weekend. Your participation ensures that we will remember our past traditions. Please stand for a round of applause. I'd like to thank our presenting sponsors, Duplin Winery and Hilton Greenville, as well as the Greenville Convention Center and their staff for hosting us this evening. Thank you all again for our sponsors and patrons, the Magnolia Bells, the Alumni Association staff. Great job, staff. Thanks to each of you for attending tonight's event and supporting the Alumni Association. Don't forget to submit your nominations for the 2015 Alumni Awards by November 1st. I'd like the award recipients please report to the stage for a quick group photo before you leave. Thanks for coming. Drive home safely. Go Pirates.